Hi, I'm Murphy. This is my channel, Murphy's Every Whim, where I talk about books. And what I don't love talking about so much is when I've had a job to do about anything, but specifically a job about books that I didn't follow through on. And because of my background, I feel guilty about it, so mea culpa, mea culpa. In October, I plan on wiping the slate clean, getting all of my past reading jobs done, and starting out fresh in November with no jobs hanging over my head to make me guilty. No one else really cares, probably, except me, but you know, it's nice to get a job done. So I have gotten books from LibraryThing as early reviewers. The way this works on LibraryThing is they come out with a list of books that publishers or authors have told them that they would give away in exchange for a review. So they have this list of books. They publish that list at the beginning of the month, and subscribers to LibraryThing can go in and choose what books that they want. And then using probably partly a lottery, partly based on your reviewing history, LibraryThing staff will choose who gets which books, and each publisher or author tells how many books they're willing to give, whether they're an ebook or a physical book or an audio book. I have gotten an audio book in the past. And then, so at the end of the month, the LibraryThing staff choose the books, who they go to, and then you get the books and review them. Sometimes the authors or publishers will communicate with you about, you know, when the release is going to be and that sort of thing. Sometimes you just get the book and that's basically the last you ever hear from anybody, even after you put a review out there. So I like doing LibraryThing's early reviewers because I choose the books at the beginning of the month that I'm interested in. And usually, it depends on what the books are, but sometimes I'll pick from 4 to 20, you know, if there's a lot of books that pique my interest. So I pick those at the beginning of the month, and then I forget about them. I don't go back and look at the descriptions or anything. And then at the end of the month, I get emails that say, you've gotten these books. And right now, I'm asking for 2 books. So of the, you know, up to 20 books that I choose, I may get none, 1 or 2 books, depending on how they've decided to distribute these. And for the last 2 months, I've gotten 2 books each. So I have 4 books currently that really need to be reviewed. But in addition to those 4 books that I just got, I have 6 others from the past, sometimes way far past, like 2015, that I haven't reviewed because I had been getting books, I had been reviewing, I'd been doing a good job, and then life got different at work, and then COVID came, and you would think that during COVID I would have plenty of time to read, but frankly, because of my work, I really didn't have time to mentally spend on reading. So I have 4 books that I currently need to review and 6 more that need to be reviewed. Now, one reason I really like the LibraryThing Early Reviewers is because of that month in between the time I choose the books and the time I get books, because by then I've forgotten what the book is. And I've mentioned this before, but I really need to repeat it more often. I love to pick up a book and, other than the title and the author, have no idea what the book is going to be like. If I've looked at 40 titles, 40 descriptions, chose anywhere from 4 to 20 of those, I don't remember what they are. And so I get these books and I have no idea what they are. On the other hand, that means for some of these titles, I can't tell you anything about them because I don't know. So here are the books that I'm going to read for October to get caught up, to wipe the slate clean and make me feel less guilty. The first one is Biking Uphill, and it said the subtitle is the Alki Trilogy. And when I first got this, I thought this was the entire trilogy, but this is book 2 of the trilogy. So I don't know anything about this book really. I won't read the back. And how I know it's the second book in the trilogy is when I put it in my spreadsheet, I did look it up just to see what the series was and if this wasn't the entire trilogy, which book it was. So one of the things I'll be looking for when I read this book is, can you dive into the second book of this trilogy? So, Biking Uphill, and this is by Arleen Williams, and I don't know anything. Dr. Martha by Mary Graña. And I have read a significant amount of this book, but I think what happened here was I'd forgotten that it was a book I needed to review. So I'd read, but I didn't finish it, and so I didn't write the review. And this is a story of this diminutive woman. I don't know if you can tell on the cover, but there are men in the background, and she's rather petite. And she is a physician. She's a Mormon, and she's a polygamist. And so the subtitle is The Life of a Pioneer Physician, Politician, and Polygamist. It's been a while since I read this because I probably got this in, like 2018, read the majority of it, and then forgot that I needed to review it. And so I'm going to start at the beginning because there are a lot of details I just don't remember, but I remember enjoying this story. The rest of the books are on my Kindle, and they are Limbus Inc., and this has an editor, Anne C. Petty, and if I understand, this is a series of short works. I don't know if they're short stories or novellas, where the authors were given a specific situation, a specific world, and they had to do some world building and write a novella about it. And so all of the short works in this book are related to each other in that they came from the same base, but they were written by different authors. I just never started reading that. Burn Marks by John Sturgeon. I don't know anything. I got this book in 2018. The Mask by Taylor Stevens. I've finished this book. This is the 7th book in a series, and I haven't written the review yet. But this book is really wanting to be the Millennium series. The girl with the dragon tattoo, that sort of thing. And so the woman, the main character in this book, has both a male and female persona, and she has a female-sounding first name and a male-sounding second name. When she presents as a man, she uses her middle name. When she presents as a woman, she uses her first name. And I don't think she's presenting as one or another because she's non-binary. I think she does it specifically for her job, which is unclear to me what her job is. In this particular series, in this particular book in the series, she has not involved with a job of her own. She went to stay with a man she has a relationship with in Japan, and he is working at a company trying to suss out who is doing corporate espionage in that company. A couple of people are killed. He is blamed for them. And so the main character, with a woman, is trying to find out what really happened and getting her friend out of jail. It was a good book. I read it pretty quickly and I enjoyed it. There were some flaws, and I'll tell about those when I write the review. The next one is Guests on Earth by Lee Smith. This is an audio book. I think I got the physical book, but I didn't remember that it was a book I needed to review, and so I donated it, and I had to buy it. So I'm listening to it, and I'm glad I'm listening to it because I'm not necessarily a big fan. This is all about a mental health institution in Asheville, North Carolina, a girl who is sent there as a child and has grown up, left the institution, has come back, is in a halfway situation right now in the book. And so she's partly working at the institution and partly being still getting psychiatric care there. But in particular, why I chose this book to begin with, I remember, is because Zelda Fitzgerald went to this institution as well. And I thought the book would be more about her. But really what this book is historical fiction about this particular institution. And it's interesting, but it's really not my sort of thing. And so I'm most of the way through it. I'll put up a review soon. The next 4 are the books that I've gotten within the last 2 months. The first one is The Palisades by Gail, Lynn, Hanson. And I started reading this 2 days ago and have spent almost all of my time reading it. I am going to really enjoy writing the review for this. It's a mysterious situation. The main characters are 2 women. There are a lot of other characters involved, but these 2 women, one owns a house in, Pacific Palisades, California, and she has hired a woman to work for her as a maid come companion. And there's actually a lot of backstory for both of these women. And it's dark. And anyway, I don't want to say too much. I actually will have trouble writing the review because I'm not sure how much I can say without giving things away. One thing I will say is that I think this author, Gail Lynn Hanson, unfolds details at a good pace. You know, you're thinking, what's going on here? And then later you find out what's going on. And I think it's at a good pace. So I'm 85% of the way through it, and I will finish it tonight. And I hope to write the review tonight as well, or maybe tomorrow. The next one, Quantum Reaction by Marc Wayne. Then, and I don't know anything about that book, Less Than by A.D. Long. And the only thing I remember about this book is it's something about a person who is stigmatized by society for some reason, maybe some handicap or some, social reason or financial reason, and I'm not sure what. And the cover has a child on it. So I think that one's going to be dark as well. And then the last one is by Tierney, The Bridge on Bear River. And again, I don't know. The cover has a bridge and a river. And I'm guessing the river is the Bear River. But other than that, I don't remember anything about why I might have chosen this book. If I had to guess, I would guess Southern Gothic. That's what I would guess. I'm getting the Tallahatchie Bridge images, whatever that song was, the day that Bobby Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. So that's the feeling I'm getting with this, but I could be completely wrong, and that's fine. So those are the books that I'm going to read this month, or I've read, and I'm going to write a review of. The last 4, the ones that are current reviews that I need to do, I will create videos for. I wanted to cut down a little bit on how many videos I made this month, because last month I tried to do 12, and I think I did 10, and that was just a little too much. So I'm probably going to do 4 books and maybe a couple about BookTube, or how I read books. I've been planning one for a while about how I get started reading a book. Anyway, those are my plans. I didn't do very well with Shorty September. I read 8 out of 12 books. Actually, I got through with about 80% of the reading, but I didn't finish 4 of the books. So let's see if I can get through with these books. I'm already 20% of the way through. So anyway, well, that's all I have today. It's getting kind of late. I have the light on, so it's not natural light. Probably all yellow and weird. I might have to edit that, but we'll see. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Trying to get rid of my gravelly voice.